Hey, good day, everyone. It's CJ. Hope everyone's having a great day today. Today is what day is it again, Gus?
We just I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Today is Wednesday, November the 18th, and V will be joining us here shortly. You got caught up on a call, so thank you everyone for tuning in. I saw Thomas posted in the message room that there were people waiting for 3 or 4 hours for this. So very excited today to be joined by Gus Demos of Perpetual Assets. Again, make sure to go over to Perpetual Assets. Check out, set up your self-directed IRA, take a hold of your own funds. So, Gus, great day. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing great, man. Just, we were talking before we went live and in regards to the chaos and, some preparation that we're in that 11th hour now of that time period where a multitude of things that we need to start considering, man.
Well, like yesterday or last week, I was a bit of a Debbie Downer because I think I was going through the stages of grief. Unlike a liberal who spent 4 years going through the Trump derangement syndrome and stages of the grief, I usually spend about a week, and I'm all the way through. I'm all the way through to acceptance now. And why do I say that? And why did I name my avatar Black Market? Because the way I see this playing out, let's shelve the presidential election for a minute and just focus on California, Michigan, Illinois, New York. I think we're at the point now, and I text you and V this morning the pictures of Gavin at the dinner, just as and I referenced Animal Farm. We're in the last chapter of Animal Farm already. They're already doing I never pay attention to a person's words. I pay attention to their actions, and they're already when Gavin and the mayor and Pelosi and Whitmire or whatever that dyke's name is in Michigan. When they're doing whatever they want and telling you you're now their slaves, it reminded me of the last chapter of Animal Farm when the pigs got busted in the farmhouse, and when they looked through the window, they saw them. They were walking on 2 feet. They'd basically become the dictators that they swore to overthrow. What I see happening, what I think is going to happen, is that we're going to reach a point where hopefully people stop playing by the rules, but also what I see happening is like black markets developing and underground. This is going to sound kind of crazy, but this is what every time I've studied countries that have gone through this, basically underground economies start forming. Underground hair salons, underground gyms, people are just going to say, fuck you. They'll stop paying attention. The problem is if you do it at your storefront, like if you're a hair salon owner, and the California governor, he'll have the cops knock on your door. I have a police scanner, so sometimes I monitor what's going on in here locally, and they literally, I've heard them on the scanner say, "Is everyone in that shop wearing a mask?" They have people going around, basically looking to bust businesses down. That's how fucking disgusting it all is. Like with your tax money, you are financing your own enslavement. So it's almost fucking hilarious. And all these people, all our new overlords, all these governors and mayors, and they're inferior to you in every single way. They're like little spineless fucking retarded pansies. But they have control of the people with the SWAT teams that can kick your door down. So the issue now is I think you're going to see a lot of these people start having their own economies. It just makes sense to me. It doesn't matter if it's like gathering, think about 1920s economy, the speakeasy economy, where people just start hosting in their basements. You turn it into speakeasy, hair salons, exercise, whatever. I think that's where we're headed. Unless I'm miscalculating this.
No, dude, you're on point. It's so crazy that you just said that in regards to the underground markets, and I firmly believe that's just right around the corner. And not only that, but just in terms of methods of exchange, the way people are going to be dealing with things as the currencies collapse. A great site, and I love his work. I followed him for a few years now. Is Derek Bros with the Conscience Resistance Network, and Derek figured this out a long time ago where he talks about these freedom cells. I think I've mentioned it to you before, Gus. These freedom cells are almost similar to Oath Keepers, these people who are around certain areas to kind of help and assist each other. And then also he talks about this Underground Railroad, which is ties directly into what you're saying in regards to this underground economy that's going to start emerging at some point, man. So you're on point, brother. And again,
well, I think here's the greatest irony that to me is so frustrating. Here's the greatest irony: the side that actually has the back of police is the side that the police are going to be tasked with going after. So the commies have been executing cops in the streets, defund the police, kill the police. The commies are basically hate the police and think the police are total shit. And now these governors and mayors are going to task the police with going after conservatives and libertarians and people who want freedom. So, and that, honestly, you remember the movie V for Vendetta?
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, folks, we have a gorilla in the house, so watch out.
There he is.
We have the original V. Remember the 5th of November.
The end of the movie is rather telling when the cops drop their guns or turn on the state. And if I'm being honest, in my romantic mind, like what would I love to see happen? It would be something like that. It would be the cops saying, you know what, go fuck your mother, Gavin. Fuck you, Gavin. Fuck you, Gretchen. Like if the state police and the police say, you know what, do I think that's going to happen? Probably not, because of the Nuremberg defense. People just want to pay their mortgage. Like I think these cops know something's fishy, but we've entered the realm of, dictator fucking rule. And I'm done even bitching about it. I've kind of just accepted it. And there'll be balkanization happening around the country, but it's not as though 30 million people are going to leave California. California will continue to function. I just think it'll go underground, in like I said, a black market economy, for services and goods. The issue is going to be the people, and this is who I really, as a Greek kid, I grew up in the restaurant business, right? So my heart really goes out to those people in the service industry, especially in diners, bars, restaurants, what they've went through the last year. It's sad, man. It's really, they've destroyed small businesses. And again, honestly, on purpose. Let's fucking cut the bullshit. Like if they were really terrible, dude, Gavin wouldn't be at a fucking 3-star Michelin restaurant with fucking 20 people without mask. They're all laughing. They're
50 people.
Dude, it's hilarious.
Let's jump into that, because you sent the text this morning with the picture. So I brought up the reporter who covered this out of LA. I've got the pictures on screen. He's got a video, but he just came out. He even lied about it when he came out with his fake apology and said, "Oh, we were outdoors. It was an outdoor dinner event." You know, this guy is
bro. There is only, like I told you in the beginning. This holds true for politicians, for people people you do business with, for friends. Don't pay attention to people's words. Pay attention to people's actions. Words are rhetoric. It's all gibberish. People's actions tell you who they really are and what they really think. It's like I'll turn it around, kind of like on a girlfriend. Imagine a girlfriend who all the word is right. Like she plays Virgin Mary, but the actions are, oh my God, she's literally sucking dicks out every weekend. Like it's propaganda. It's gibberish. It's bullshit, right? So like their actions tell you everything. And Gavin's actions tell me one simple thing. In his mind, what's really going on in his mind is, how long are these Karens, pussies, and retards going to be afraid of a virus with a 99.99% survival rate? That's what's really going on in his mind. He's like, God, these people are pathetic. How much longer are they going to... Dude, look at this. Like, that's what's going on in his mind. He knows it's a fucking joke, but he knows everyone's just weak and dumb, and like it's hilarious. To me, it's like you're right. You have to admire their balls. They have balls. Like
they have balls, man.
Oh God,
it was. Yeah. People asked. I think it was they asked Steve Bannon why he admires George Soros, and people will take that the wrong way. He admires Soros for his cunning,
audacity, cunning,
his balls, his chutzpah, his intellect. The way that he's I've never seen a man that literally and flagrantly is out there undermining the United States of America, and nobody can do legally any sort of shit to him because his tracks are so covered. Like, you do some investigations, you follow the money on Soros. Yeah, you can make a lot of circumstantial evidence and put things together, but you don't have enough to completely indict the bastard. That's how good he is. So somebody as Soros that got to his level, you have to admire his cunning. This is what I said, Gus.
Bro,
The Democrats.
let me tell you what I just said about looking inside Gavin's mind about these Karens, pussies, and retards. Listen. Let me let you know a little secret. What I just said is what all these oligarchs really think of the masses. So there's a Hobbesian approach to the world, and there's a John Locke approach to the world. And the Hobbesian approach is that people are mindless cattle. They need to be whatever. It's the same. Really, it's the same argument the eugenicists make. Like, the eugenicists are like, we have to control these people breeding. They're too fucking stupid to reproduce. We have to genetically make sure the right people are reproducing. These people are mindless fucking sheep. The oligarchs of the world, the Soroses, the Davos crowd, the Gavins, they think that of the masses. And honestly, we're approaching a point where I'm starting to agree with them. Like, they're like, you people almost deserve what you're about to get. Like, because the solutions are, yes, on this, all these mindless Antifa and BLM sheep rioting and looting. The difference is, yeah, I think you're fucking retarded pussies and Karens too. I'm just trying to let you be free. I just want you to leave you alone, do whatever you want in life, as long as, where these people want to straight up, and we think the same thing of you. You think Soros watches a fucking BLM Antifa riot and it's like,
hell no.
God, those are the few future physicists and engineers of the planet. Dude, he thinks you're mindless, retarded fucking sheep, but you serve a perp. You're useful fucking idiots. It's only a matter of time before he fucks you. It's just he needs you as an end to the means right now, correct, or a means to an end right now. So these people almost deserve what's coming to them. They're again, the problem is it's going to be too late to do anything about it once it comes. you're by the time you're an enslaved welfare queen, they'll give you fake respect, but then at that point you can't do anything about it.
You know what, man? I also think that there's 80 million pissed off Americans. 80 million or more pissed off Americans, and you see this shit, and they're getting away with this shit in these deep blue states and cities where the masses don't care. The masses care about their bread and circus. The masses love the government handed. The masses love being, having their universal basic income given to them. They love that crap, right? But there's 80 million pissed off Americans, bro. There are guys I talked to, like, a few days ago I talked to a guy who's a former SEAL team member, right? And let me tell you, when these guys are pissed, they're pissed. Can you imagine? It's like this: everybody's in line, and they're waiting, bro. They lay waiting.
Like I said, my romantic side would the best. Listen, dude. Let me break it down as simply as I put. Do you think if you took away take my home state and hometown of Illinois, and take the fake FBI bullshit with Governor Whitmer, right? If you take away the mayors, the governors, the DA's police force, do you think they'd be fucking doing this bullshit? If they could actually have 200 people show up at their house, do you think they would do shit? Of course not. In my romantic mind, what would happen is the cops would say, "You're on your own." Like the sheriffs, the office, the higher ranking law enforcement. Even here in Vegas, I would love to see the sheriff to be like, you know what? Fuck you. Like, we're not doing this bullshit. Like, fuck you. You're on your own. You want, like, but instead, what I'm seeing, like, that's my romantic side. What I'm seeing is quite the contrary. They're having bureaucrats go out writing tickets to businesses for no masks, or, oh my God, that table's 5.5 feet apart. Oh my God, it's 10:05. It's past curfew. Like, so unfortunately, like that's the greatest irony of this whole thing. Unfortunately, the side that is sticking up for police, the Republicans, the conservatives, are the ones the police is being told to come down on. and the Antifa, the BLM, the fucking the felons that do whatever they want in the streets, they're left with total immunity. While again, dude, it's reached the point again. It'd be nice. I would love to see it, dude. The romantic side of me, like, God, cops, who the fuck has got your back the last 9 months? Stop enforcing it. This is fucking like but it's not happening. What's happening is exactly the opposite. So, it is what it is. But what me and CJ were talking about is, like, again, I see and especially in these totalitarian states, New York, California, Illinois, what I see happening is underground services, under black market economies, underground shit. It just the country doesn't have the spine or balls to actually fight back in these places. So what I see happening is people just going underground, like the hairstylist opening up her shit in her basement or whatever, and word of mouth. And
it's like Afghanistan, bro, where they have those secret beauty parlors, secret dance classes,
all cash transactions, underground economies. That's where
all crypto. Then I foresee a bright future for Monero then.
Yeah, well, untraced. Like I said, the people will. You can't starve these people out. I mean, people have to live. I don't know about in the freer plate. You'll also get migration patterns. My buddy's in Florida right now from Chicago, one of my very well off buddies. And he's like, dude, he's having to bid against people from New York with money, people from Boston with money. Like, so they're like, and this isn't like, the super ritzy exclusive parts of the state. Like the amount of money flying to free areas is ridiculous. So you're going to see migration pattern and balkanization, but I think those who are still stuck and left under commie occupation will figure it out under the table. They'll figure it out. So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's all I told CJ in the beginning. I've went through my 5 stages of grief, and now I'm on to acceptance.
Oh my God, Gus is transforming on the scale.
He is.
And that needle sliding from John Wick, and it's going John Galt.
Well, yeah.
I'm very proud of you for being self-aware.
Yeah, well, dude, we're not liberals. I'm not gonna take 4 years to fucking get through my episode. Like, we're supposed to be fucking stoic men. Like, all right, a week or two of fucking disappointment, depression, and blah blah blah. Dust off my jeans. Let's get back to work. Like, so it's you can't, no matter, again, without diving deep into the election and Sidney Powell and Lynn and all the rest of them. However that happens, even whatever happens at the federal level, is Gavin afraid? Is Gretchen afraid? Like, is Como afraid? These people are still doing. They're getting even worse. Yeah, they're getting even worse. They're getting even worse, bro.
Yeah, they're getting more tyrannical.
Good. No, go ahead. Go for it, V.
There's a real quick quote. Since you brought up V for Vendetta, which is one of my favorite graphic novels, I recommend people go out and get it. It's by Alan Moore. Alan Moore's a phenomenal author, great writer, prolific novelist. So get the book, and also in the movie. And there's a quote in V for Vendetta that says, "Since mankind's dawn, a handful of oppressors have accepted the responsibility over our lives that we should have accepted for ourselves. By doing so, they took our power. By doing nothing, we gave it away. We've seen where their way leads, through camps and wars, towards the slaughterhouse." That's exactly what it is. I mean, look at the whole in New Zealand where they're setting up COVID camps, bro. Could you believe that? COVID camps, concentration camps.
I told you months ago, after the FBI Gretchen thing, that fucking cunt in Michigan, again, where the whole thing was set up by it was another entrapment of the feds. Like, again, we've reached a point where their priority is protecting the federal agencies. Their priority is not protecting us from tyranny. It's protecting the tyrants from the people. That's what's going on here. And anyone who thinks otherwise is fucking nuts. They are, and the greatest evidence of that is are these governors, are these mayors, do they have any fear of executing these orders? No, dude. They don't have a fucking care in the world. The dude in Washington and Oregon and California, go down the list. They don't have a fucking care in the world. They're like, Christmas is canceled. Fuck you. 10:01. You're getting arrested. Curfew. Like, dude, they don't have a fucking care in the world. And even before, and if you really want to know about the Department of Justice and FBI, they're even before the election, and the fact that they're not doing shit is the last 6 months, dude, they haven't done fucking anything to help us. And when I say help us, I mean the people, the citizens. They haven't done a fucking dick. Everything they're doing is to solidify the power of the dictators, to solidify the power of the oligarchy. That's what they're doing. They did it in Nevada. In Vegas, there was this is before the riots and looting in March. It was when I left for Georgia to get a haircut. There was a terrorist plot in Vegas. It's like, dude, it was FBI set that up. Like it's all fucking bullshit. It's all a scam. And the same thing with fucking Michigan. Same fucking thing in Michigan. There was the leaders of the Gretchen thing were agents or assets at minimum. So again, we're reaching a point where even while Trump's been in power, dude, I've sent you guys the pictures of those FBI agents kneeling with BLM.
That was ridiculous, man.
Dude, come on, dude. Come on. Do you think this country already hasn't been usurped? I mean,
we have a serious fifth column here. That is definitely for sure.
Yeah.
It's literally the tale of two Americas. It's like the tale of two cities. It's literally the tale of two Americas. You have the freedom-loving, constitutional respecting America with its Christian values, its morals, its respect for the country, its respect for the flag, its respect for the office of the presidency. And you have this fifth column that's been this cancer that's been growing up, and you see it predominantly in the coast. And the best solution for these idiots is it's if we can't squash these guys in a cultural revolution. I'm not calling for violence or anything like that, but in the forum of ideas, if we don't become as cunning, and it's like the old Bible verse from Jesus: "Be as wise as serpents, but as gentle as doves." Right? But the problem is we're as dumb as sheep, and so if we need to grow not only a spine and some balls, we need to learn how to fight in the dirt, man. We need to become like George Patton when he was facing off against Erwin Rommel in the North African deserts, where he learned how to fight in the dirt. And that's what we need to do. There are some key earmarkers here from the Democrat playbook, folks, that we need to use. Look at what they did in Michigan as they were intimidating two of the canvassers in order to certify the vote, right? Look at them. Or a former guy from Bear Stearns, or I forgot what the guy's name was. He was calling them, how would you feel if your kids grow up and you go to a racist school and you're disenfranchising black people? This motherfucker worked for Bear Stearns, who disenfranchised a lot of poor and minority communities with subprime mortgages, the capital markets, you name it, the list goes on. But he has the balls to go up there and literally stare people in the face and call them racist. They understand these trigger words. They understand what's kryptonite to our side. We need to understand what's kryptonite for their side and take them down.
If you really want to see how bad it is, the courts and the legislatures have, in certain states, in California and Michigan, the courts and legislators have even tried to stop the governor's unlimited power, and the governors simply ignore it. And
yeah, they try to go through. It amazes me to see this, man. And
dude, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Do you know why? Do you know why they go through it? Because the courts, the same reason the Philadelphia, they showed up to observe, and they're like, we have a court order, and the sheriff's like, fuck you, I'm not coming. The reason why these governors and mayors are ignoring the courts and the legislatures is because the courts and legislatures don't have an enforcement branch. It's just it all comes back to them who has control of the guns. That's it.
Mao is saying is so true. Political power comes from the barrel of a gun.
Yeah, it's like they used to joke around about it. It's like the UN is saying the president shouldn't send troops in. It's like, the fuck's the UN going to do about it? Like, I got an army. Fuck you. It really, there's Cersei Lannister. There's a great quote in Game of Thrones. She's like, no, power is power. And it really comes down to who has the ability to, and people don't want to hear this, but it's true. Who has the ability to apply force?
But isn't that the and has been the long history of humanity? The humanity is nothing but aggressive force, governing force.
People get lost in a normalcy bias that doesn't allow them to see the evils that are the evils that are happening right in front of them. So but most people could look back on the last 4,000 years of history and identify evil and injustice and things that are fucked up fairly easily. The normalcy bias comes into play. You just can't identify them when you're living through them. Germany during World War II or before World War II were some of the most educated, intelligent, smartest people on planet Earth. And they all got brainwashed by the commies and the Nazis, both. So it was they couldn't identify what they were living through until it was too late. And the same with Russia, same with all of them. When these dictators show up, when these governors, these mayors, Kamala, whatever the fuck that dyke's name is, when they show up, they show up with rhetoric. Like, oh, this is for, again, going back to words versus actions. They show up, it's like a serial killer knocking on your door and saying, yeah, can I use your phone? I have a flat tire. Like, he's not gonna be like, hey, I'm here to slit your fucking throat and then eat you after. Like, but it's true. Like, they show up with a story. Like, it's bullshit. You've got, and again, these people here in our country, they just can't snap out of it. They don't know how.
No, they can't, and they're going to really lose it, Gus. They're going to lose it when on January the 20th, or actually, let's make it January the 15th, when Nancy Pelosi, I'm hoping to God that she still be Speaker of the House when it happens, so I can see the look on her face. Slams the gavel and certifies Donald J. Trump as getting that re-election, which is going to happen. It's a done deal. And at that point, these people are going to lose it. Bro, they're going to empty their bowels, bro, and they're going to lose their shit.
There's a certain level of either you're literally under an 80 IQ or you're mentally insane if you are okay with these people trying to cancel Christmas while they're getting a pedicure. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how can you not look at this and be like, God, something's not right. This bitch is in a salon getting a fucking manicure and without a mask, and she just told me I can't have Christmas. Like, are they just incapable of connecting the simplest dot of you've been scammed, dummy? Like, that, it behooves, it's made me, like I said, it's made me like, God, these motherfuckers deserve what they're going to get. They really do. Maybe Soros is right. These people need to be fucking neutered. Like, you can't, if you're that easily manipulated, conned, enslaved, what do you want the rest of us to do, dude? Like, what are us three supposed to do about it? Like, again, you can't give them any more glaring proof. I've often for a long time in business, we've had clients call us and say, what if the government does this? What if the government does that? And I for liability's sake, I can't answer. I'm like, listen, the government can do whatever the fuck they want. They've got the guns, but everyone, what I've always said that they could show up at your door and take your firstborn. Like, that's government can do whatever the fuck they want. So it's everyone's, and I talked about this early on in the lockdowns in like March. I'm like, do these people have a line in the sand? If so, what is it? Like, if Gavin tomorrow on Twitter says, "Yep, guess what? You're all getting forced sterilizations. It's because the virus. The virus is we have to forcefully sterilize you people.
This way, it guarantees that future generations won't get the virus.
The virus, yeah. What do these liberal? I'm not talking about the oligarchs. I'm talking about the sheep, the vermin. Do they have a line in the sand of tyranny? I don't think they do, bro. I don't. I think they would because I think they're either so weak or so fucking dumb that they would let the stormtroopers of California come in and separate families. They would let them fucking take your kid. They would let it really is. It really is just some, maybe it's a docility, just a natural, and maybe that's what, again, me and you have talked about this ad nauseum for 4 years. Maybe that was part of the plan all along, to emasculate the nation. Yeah. Let's get so many of these people to be raging pussies that they'll just accept anything. Perhaps, I don't know. But there's
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, how you mentioned that the Democrats and how dirty and they wouldn't play dirty. Well, the Republicans can do the same thing, but it usually involves stabbing their own people in the back. That's usually typically what they're good at, So and that's one thing I want people to understand is that it's not the Democrats that are bad, it's the Republicans too.
It's the cuck Republicans who are very quick to throw their own members down, under the bus. They're so quick to do that. These guys have no fighting spirit. They don't know how to kill the dragon. They don't. It's like this: the Democrats and the Republicans are like an abusive married couple, right? They'll fight and squalor, and they'll bitch and complain, and they'll be at each other's throats and throw plates and knives at each other. But at the end of the night, they're both in bed. They're both in bed. They like each other. They can't be apart. They're locked in love. And that's exactly what the political parties are, because they all benefit. It's a duality, right? The Republicans need the Democrats, and the Democrats need the Republicans. They always have to have this duality. But again, what moves forward is the agenda. The agenda's never changed, and it hasn't changed. And it's only begun to change because in 2016, when Donald J. Trump threw a monkey wrench into the entire process, and they began the procedures even before he was elected to have him removed, because they understood that he's not a disruptive force. They understood that he cannot be bought. He's not part of their squad. And what is up with Lindsey Graham giving this camel hoe a fist bump? Like, what the hell, man? What
They're in cahoots. They all work together behind the scenes. You know that.
Hey, how you doing? I mean, it's like I'm watching an episode of WWE where, Bret the Hitman Hart has beef with Hulk Hogan, and they're all, at each other's throats in the ring, but in the meantime, they're like going out for a beer afterwards. It's ridiculous. We need killers. We have a population of 80+ million Americans, maybe more, who are pissed off as hell, who have the means. You have the means. You have the money. You have the talent. Technically, we're more educated than liberals. We hold higher salaries than liberals. We need to develop a killer instinct. We need, honestly, Trump is the only president that has been able to fight the system effectively exposing them, jabbing them, and striking them. But he needs killers. We need real senators, real congressmen, real people in politics, state and local government, who are killers, who know how to finish these guys, because it's time for us to fight dirty. It's time for us to destroy them.
Back in April, we said that, hey, you know what, that the entire COVID thing was going to be used as a great disguise for the economic reset, the great reset. And now they're just completely out there, just advertising it now as they move forward. And
I said, bro, you have to respect their audacity. They don't even hide it anymore.
And I'll take that a step forward. And, kind of like I think that we said, not shortly after we said that this will be transformed. Instead of the 20-year war on terror, it's going to become the 20-year war on viruses.
Yeah, the new normal.
It's the new normal. And a lot of that.
CJ, do you listen, man? We were both adults before 9/11. Do you remember travel the year 2000?
Oh yeah.
How much more pleasant it was.
It was awesome.
It was just like you walk in, your family could meet you at the gates. You didn't have to get fucking frisked or go
you were shit-faced before you landed.
We 9/11 brought in a new normal. Just like they're trying to do. That's essentially what this is. They're trying to usher in a new normal. That's what this is.
Well, there's a few things that we need to be mindful of. Just real quick. Again, we're already seeing the narrative being built out here. So they're saying, hey, you know what, the coronavirus is already mutating, and I'm not sure if you guys have seen this yet, but they're basically calling or destroying basically all the ferrets right now because of this mutation that's occurring. But they said, don't worry, the virus will be able to, the vaccine will be able to adopt and change and everything. And I want to thank Derek Bros, because I think he's getting ready to do not a documentary, but an expose on this coming out. But someone caught word of this, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but you know how they usually like to put things out before they do them. But there is already a SPARS pandemic that they have kind of rehearsed, that they prepared for. It's 2025 through 2028 or 29, where they talk about this mutation that occurs in animals. And I firmly believe that.
Here we go. Good catch, CJ. SPARS. What the hell is SPARS?
SPARS. Well, basically what they're saying is, good.
What is it? Severe respiratory? No, it's not SARS. So it's SPARS. Severe penile acid reflux syndrome.
Well, what's crazy is they even mentioned COVID in this. They're like, and they say 2021 COVID. How in the world did they know? Well, COVID's been around a long time, but what they state in this is that at some point the virus mutates to affect hooved animals, so deer, pigs, cows, and all this. And I can already kind of see this playing out. You know how these environmentalists, how they look at humans and they look at cattle as being like the worst polluters to the environment, everything. I could see this happening here, where they say, you know what?
I've always wondered why those people don't commit suicide.
Yeah, I know. they should do us all a favor and off themselves.
Yeah, if humans are such vermin on planet Earth, jump off a bridge, motherfucker. Who's stopping you, Greta? Like, fucking slit your throat, slit your wrist. Who's stopping you?
She's tried several times, and clearly, it didn't work.
Yeah, if we're such vermin, kill yourself. Who's stopping you? Like, well, I mean, dude, like I said, these people will believe anything. It comes back to like the Yale study. Like it's the logical fallacies and appeal to authority. The sheep will believe anything you put in front of them. Anything. Like that's the question. If there's a point where, like and V's been saying it forever, you have to make a decision on even dude, if we're going into a totalitarian fucking future here, you have to make a decision on how you want to live and where you want to live and what it's going to look like. I've said even before the election, like the only thing that really changes if they sack the feds is what they're going to label you, what the federal government will label you.
Luckily, I'm a trans Pan Asian woman.
Bro, your beliefs could be the same as they were in 2018, and depending who's in charge, your label goes from a patriot to outlaw. It's just that simple. So the guys who run the labels, the federal government and CNN, they'll call you an extremist. They'll call you an anti-government. They'll call you. It's all framing. It's all narrative. It's all bullshit. Just they need to know what to label you, tar and feather you via propaganda. If you disagree with any of their mask bullshit or their vaccine bullshit, or we're seizing your land, or we're eliminating clips over 10 rounds. If you disagree with any of them, they need to know how they're going to label you. It's all propaganda.
I'm moving to an Indian reservation. That's it.
Dude, the movie V for Vendetta lays this out pretty easily. Like it
really did.
Yeah, the collusion between the party and the propaganda arm was the funniest part of the whole thing. The way he can, the networks and lock it down and emergency systems and all that. It's straight up 1984 shit. Like, it's Nazi propaganda. It's Soviet propaganda. It is what it is. But they need to know how they're going to label us if we don't comply. If you go Galt or go Connor or whatever, and they need to know how they're going to label you. And that's why again, without fucking sounding like a broken record, for me, the logical thing is making sure at least I could trust my locals. Like I'm quasi, my family was harassing me about Thanksgiving. Like, why aren't you coming back? Why aren't you coming back? Why aren't you coming back? I'm like, motherfuckers, you live behind enemy lines. Like people who lived in West Berlin didn't go to East Berlin. It was like you live under communist occupation. I won't set foot in California or Illinois right now. Are you fucking crazy? Like while I'm there, they might say, guess what? It's a two-week mandatory quarantine if you're from out of state, mandatory vaccine to leave, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. I'm not going to give those power. They control the men with guns, and commies are running the men with guns.
I want to show you a sad picture. CJ, could you go to Zero Hedge and pull out that first article that they have listed there, which is the largest distribution ever? There you go, CJ. And Gus, you can keep talking. I want people to see this. This is uncalled for. Go ahead, CJ.
Is that food or vaccine? What is that?
Food, man.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Bro,
This is Texas. Then you would think this would be New York. This would be California. No, this is Texas. My question to the Republicans, to the heartland, why are you going along with a virus hoax?
It is really hard.
Why is this happening? Why shut down your economy?
It's really hard to fight back when you're starving, and that's also part of the plan. When you wonder why they're going to enslave everyone, get everyone to get on fucking government assistance, get everyone to be a welfare queen, destroy these small businesses, these restaurants, these bars, these hair salons, these boutiques, whatever, it's because you can fight back if you're not starving. If you have the means, I could speak up. Like it's like just 2020 is going to be our best year ever financially by far. Like, so I'm not starving. I don't need them for anything. Like, so it's hard to fight. Eliminating the middle class was always a high priority, and that's what made this country difficult for them. There's a great I think it was Breitbart interview. There was a great thing about when they first were trying to implement critical race theory in this country, when they came over from Europe with the critical race theory sales pitch in the 1960s, Foucault did and whatever. And he got to California in the golden age of California before it became, this is like Reagan, California in the 60s. And they're all these critical race theory commies from Europe who eventually ended up spreading this disease throughout the whole country. They were disgusted with the thriving middle class. And that was the greatest failure of Marxism. Is like, we thought the middle class would join us. They never did. Because when you have a thriving middle class who could actually own their own things and buy their own house and retire and travel, and when you have a thriving middle class, they don't want again, we make fun of the basement dwellers in the streets. They have nothing. That's why they're out in the street. Like, our side doesn't riot and loot because we have jobs, so that's part of the whole thing. Starving people out makes them much more, they become more docile. They have,
it really does. And this is what I'm saying is like, this is, look at this shit. I'm immune. What is this, CJ? Could you play the sound?
So Vela sent us this, and again, it goes back to the programming, the conditioning that they're wanting us to. So this is a futuristic look at COVID, I believe 20. Let me go ahead and just play it. It's easier.
Good morning, Miss Garcia.
Good morning, sunshine. I miss you. I could kiss you right now.
So gross.
God, what is this?
Someday.
Curfew is now in effect. All unauthorized citizens must stay indoors.
Tensions rise as we enter the 213th week of lockdown.
A grim new reality emerges.
COVID-23 has mutated.
God.
Scan. Thermal scan normal.
A horrifying new development
New
today.
data confirms
Hollywood programming.
the brain tissue.
Whoa, I'm immune.
Worldwide death toll rises to over 110 million.
All infected Americans are being forced into quarantine camps.
Sarah, what's going on?
Department of Sanitation.
Sarah, talk to me.
I think my neighbor has a fever.
There'll be some more cheese.
All right, so we get the idea.
Yeah.
Oh, this is crazy. This is insane.
Yeah, it's our new.
All right, look, here's
reality.
the thing, guys.
Yep.
Remember in China, in March or February, they were welding people's doors to force them to stay locked in. The Chinese military was going into Wuhan, into residential areas, and welding the doors shut.
Doors shut. I remember that.
Yeah, that's what they want here, man. People don't.
I'll tell you right now.
I've joked about it. Turns out Alex Jones was right about it.
He was right about everything.
You know what? It's funny. We've been climbing this mountain for the longest time. When we finally get to the top of this mountain, we're going to see Alex Jones sitting on the very apex of it, roasting marshmallows. saying, "What took you guys so long?
Told you.
I told you guys."
I want to see the lizard people.
He brought it up. Dude, Tucker Carlson talked about the Great Reset a couple days ago, like on
What did he
Fox.
say?
Yep.
I also heard him say that he's like best friends. The Mrs. Gorilla was telling me that she saw a video clip of him saying that he's good friends with Hunter Biden.
The point is that when Tucker Carlson is like literally people are catching up to what Alex Jones has been talking about for 20 fucking years. Yeah. Like that should tell you something. Like it's like it's here, man. I'm at the acceptance point.
I can't accept this.
Well, no, I'm at the acceptance of, oh my God, it's really here. And I think a lot of my buddies and families are starting to be concerned. Let's call them normies. Like it's hard not to, but the question is, like I said, my brothers have families, wives, kids, houses, all that. They don't have the flexibility. Like my middle brother would love to leave. He's like, I got to go get to Florida. I got to get to Tennessee. I get the fuck out of here. My younger brother and his wife are both teachers. Like, where the fuck are they going to go? Like, so
where are they going to go? They're tenured and they have their pensions and everything here.
Everyone, normies, Republican normies, like you said, 80 million people know something's wrong. The question is, how does it play out? That part I don't know. I don't know if
battle lines. Look, like if you see the food lines in Dallas, I have to facepalm myself. That sends alarm bells to me because you're a red state. You're supposed to not allow your economy to falter. In Texas, man, dude, if you measure Texas on its own, it's like the 9th largest economy in the world or the 7th largest economy in the world. It's tremendous. Shut it down.
It's in the areas that vote blue, bro. The mayor,
Dallas, San Antonio, and all that.
Austin is LA light. It's fucking brutal.
It is brutal.
Austin is much different than it was 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's San Fran light. That's what it is.
Well, there was a great quote I heard about Joe Rogan when I watched Alex Jones was on Tim Pool with Mark Malice, although they took it down. That was a great fucking couple hours.
That was a great show.
Yeah,
I like Mike Malice.
Dude, he's hilarious. And he said, yeah, Joe Rogan left. He goes, he left the oven and hopped into the frying pan, meaning that Austin is LA light. Austin will be like LA in 5 years. They've crushed it. So
and that's how they do it.
Oh yeah, well
they go to these capital cities, the cities with the highest population. They take it over, they fill it with the idiots, and then they start flipping the entire state. Dude, you know my state. If you pull up the election map for New York State, it is bright red, except for a concentrated patch of blue, which is called New York City, that holds the entire state hostage.
Yeah, well, most states are like that. If you take Denver away, what do you think Colorado looks like?
It's red.
Like, yeah, take Denver and Boulder away. What do you think Colorado looks like? Take Vegas. So take Clark County away. What do you think Nevada looks like? Phoenix, same thing. Like it's there. I think we've entered the part of the story that people they won't know what it's called, but it's going to be a form of balkanization. And my buddy who's in Florida right now shopping for houses, I talked to him yesterday. That's when he was telling me the story about all the money flying in from Boston and New York, and he's Chicago basically is competing against it. But he was like, dude, he's like, people here act like there is no pandemic, like you'd never know anything was going on. Yeah, like like the schools, the restaurants, the bars, people are like, yeah, right. And I laughed about it. And I'm like, that's how it was in northern Arizona. And when I went out to the desert for training and stuff, you walk into those hotels, those restaurants, those bars. People are like, dude, if you had one Karen walk in with a mask, everyone was like laughing at her. Like you would never know. And this was like Prescott and the surrounding areas in Arizona. You'd never know anything was going on. It's only when you get into these deep blue. It's only me in Vegas where I have some fucking dyke Karen explode on me in an elevator. Yeah, I think I sent you guys the thread. Like it was like some 4'8" fat feminist, like literally like threatened to slit my throat. Yeah, and I'm like, bitch, call CNN. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, fuck off. Like, and I've said I can't be around these people anymore. But not everyone has the flexibility I have to leave or move. But I think it's going to be a form of balkanization that occurs where there's going to be two, and even in the commie areas, like I said, I think black markets will occur. And because my buddies who are in California, those are the pictures they're sending us. Like, oh, look, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. We're having house parties and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fine, you can't leave there. Or you want to stay there. Good for you. But they're like, don't act like it's cool. Like,
Yeah, don't
great.
be like, we're going to improvise.
Yeah.
Here's what I worry about the people that flee from places like New York and Illinois and head down to places like Florida. Do you think these idiots are bringing their politics with them?
The argument I've heard is that it's mostly Republicans leaving. So no.
Oh, okay.
So, and I could be wrong, but like Austin's,
you're probably right. I mean,
well, that's the argument I heard. I brought that up. I'm like, God, I think all these idiots are moving to Austin and Florida and where other else, and they're becoming liberals. He goes, you could make that argument in 2015. He's like, but the people who've left this year, the Corona lockdown exit is basically Republicans leaving. Like so if you're a liberal and you're a retarded fucking docile sheep, why would you go somewhere where there's people without masks on? You made a point. They welcome their enslavement, bro. They want to be enslaved.
They want to be enslaved. They open it with arms and they want to embrace it and they want to breathe that free slave air.
Dude, they love the Matrix, dude. They love it. They abandon religion. This is their religion. The mask, the commie mask cult. It defines who they are, and we're in two realities, and I think we're maybe it won't happen this year or by January 20th, but I think you'll start to see migration patterns.
I think so. It's going to happen because there's a polarization, and like I said, dude, Trump's going to win. There's no doubt about it. Take it to the bank.
Mark is correct. It's what they've done to Nevada. It's what they did to Colorado, New Mexico. Go down the list. They're basically here's the migration pattern. It's the Tijuana welfare queens have overwhelmed California, along with the oligarchs, the Hollywood and tech oligarchs, driven the prices up. It's state income tax, blah blah blah. And then the pansy liberals, the last 20 years, have left California one by one and infested the rest of the West. That's precisely what happened.
They went to Oregon and Washington and
Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona.
Now they're infiltrating Idaho,
Nevada. But that again is pre-COVID. I would argue most people that left 2020 were the Republican minority of people who are like, fuck this.
Because you made the point, the libtards won't leave to somewhere where there's no mask mandates and social distancing.
Dude, they love it.
I'm doing my part. I'm part of the system. I'm doing my part to make my state a better place.
They love it. And they're the areas, like I said, I think most people, California, for example, right? Most people, dude, Will's officially gone. He's gone. So Will has made it official. He leaves on.
Will's leaving?
He's going. He I think he said either South Carolina, maybe Florida, maybe Texas. But he's made the decision. Will is leaving California in January. So Will's gone. But again, Will has flexibility. He could work from anywhere in North or South America, quite frankly. As can I. So the people I see migrating away and leaving have the freedom to do so and are mostly on our side of the spectrum. The people who are staying, again, I think it's going to look. I think it'll look balkanized. I think they'll be, like the South Dakota governor, dude, total badass. Like I said,
Christine.
Yeah,
Nome.
dude, she's fucking epic. Yeah, and she's like, we're not. Fuck you and your mandates. You don't have the power to do that. There's going to start to be two Americas. There already is two Americas, but
there already is.
Yeah, it's going to be even more crystallized.
And
on one side, it's going to be tranny pedophilia with masks on in fucking LA. Like that's
going to happen.
Well, bro. And you guys will understand this because we're all a little bit older. But do you like notice the shit they're trying to sell the population now is cool? Like feminized mask, like it's all the gaga, the pedophile. It's all just disgusting. They're fucking losers, dude. They're like weak, pathetic fucking losers. They are. What do you think Gaga was like growing up? Like, give me a break.
Exactly.
Like, these people are fucking nerds, and what they're trying to ram down your throat as cool or normal. That's actually a very encouraging sign. The ratings drops in all these sports, in all these shows, in all these. The people are like, dude, fuck you. And that's what I thought would happen at first when the virus first broke out.
Yeah, well, look what happened to Fox News. 40-some-odd% drop across all the boards, across all the shows because of their, calling Arizona first.
When people are enslaved and starving, they're a lot less polite in what they'll put up with. So there's that famous meme about me voting for Trump in 2016, me voting for Trump in 2020. Where in 2016 everything was fine. In 2020, it's like you like they'll show a picture of like Mel Gibson and What Women Want, and they'll show a picture of Mel Gibson and Braveheart with blood on his face. Like the amount of politeness we had in 2018 or 20. One of my account executive that works for works for us is he makes fun of it. He's like. He goes, Gus in 2019 was a lot different than Gus in 2020. He calls me COVID Gus because like I'm just a different person. Like there's no my fucking patience for bullshit is zero now. Like where I was polite to these people 2 years ago. Now it's like, bitch, the Karen in the elevator. I'm like, bitch, you poked the wrong bull. Like you don't want to go down this fucking road right now. People are less polite when enslaved. Like they're not willing to put up with it. You take a mainstream conservative, they would tippy-toe around gender neutral bathrooms in 2018. You ask them now, it'd be like, dude, fuck that butch. Like, get in fucking line, dyke.
Dude, all this is doing, okay, this is also having the exact polar opposite effect of what these globalists want. All they're doing is they are also waking up a populist nationalist rebellion, and it's I don't think they can control that because we're not mask wearing Karens. We don't break windows, we don't loot, we don't riot because we have jobs, we have careers. But you take that away from us, all bets are off, man. I think, dude, there's still 14 million vets here that that will have no problem in putting a round down range from a local politician. No problems. I mean, think about it. I had a buddy of mine in Cali, right? He's in the entertainment industry. He's also very close friends with a lot of guys who are special ops operators and whatnot. He always talks about. He goes, look, there's a day coming where some vet who's like probably an ex-SEAL, Delta, Beret, whatever, Ranger, whatever, Marine Force Recon, and he's terminal and he's dying, and he just doesn't give a rat's ass, and he's gonna go out there and pop one of these guys.
I've told you guys for weeks and weeks and weeks now, a civil war in this country will not be 1860. It will be Narcos season 1. It
you
is.
said it, brother.
Yeah, go back and watch season 1 when it was the cartels against the government, what that looked like. That's what it would look like here too. Meaning there would be fucking assassination. There would be assassinations of political, media, academics. There would be kidnappings. That's what civil war would look like. It wouldn't look like, the North versus South. Like people in America think dude, all the conflicts around the globe the last 20 years. I mean, I'm not talking about invasions. I'm talking about
insurgencies,
coups, insurgencies, revolutions. That's what it looks like. Yeah. It looks like assassinate media, politicians, academics on both sides, the leaders, the political phases. There would be kidnappings. That's what civil war would look like. Because people know the truth. The truth is, and dude, there's no there's no benefit. The Antifa and BLM people are just fucking mindless, retarded sheep. They serve no purpose. Like the truth is, the liberal mayors and governors could squash them like a bug in 5 minutes. So if the mayor of Washington, D.C. woke up tomorrow, she'd be like, fuck it, send in the fucking SWAT team. Dude, they would fucking plow through those fucking, nothing would change. There's no benefit to, and that's what I'm trying to tell people. It's like, dude, you're going on fucking getting fist fights with these fucking losers. Like, there's no benefit in that. The people know, though, a couple DAs go fucking down, a couple mayors, a couple governors, then you put them on the defensive. They're the military calls them high value targets. A high value target isn't an Antifa fucking soldier. A high value target's a district attorney, a mayor, a governor, and that's why I go back to. It's funny to me. That's what the feds are actually protecting. So the FBI is going out and protecting all these fucking dictators instead of doing their fucking job and protecting the people. That the FBI and Justice Department for 9 months, Barr talks a mean game, but for 9 months, they should have been compiling cases against these fucking prosecutors, against these mayors, against these governors. You know, it's like you're taking you're charging the Missouri couple for defending their house. You're charging that's what the feds should have been doing, which broke my heart. It was like, oh my God, they're in on it together. Like this whole thing's a scam. They're protecting dictators, and we're the slaves who are just supposed to. So it's fucking nuts, man. We're here, dude. We're here. We're in the middle of it all. It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Yep, it is.
Unbelievable times, gentlemen. Unbelievable times. It's going to be interesting. The next 4 years is going to be very interesting how things will play out. I hope to God that we win the culture war and we win it big.
I think we have become, our side has become the counter. Paul Joseph Watson was right, and our side has become the counterculture.
Yeah, we're the punk rockers.
Yeah, exactly. We're the fuck you. And who was that famous rocker? Was it from Sex Pistols, or he came up and he endorsed
Really
Trump?
Yeah.
He's like, that's what I lead back to when kids are growing up. They're anti-establishment. The establishment is the commies. Like that, they control education. When your cunt teacher is yelling at you, and Amazon's on her side, and JP Morgan's on her side, and the FBI's on her side, and they are the commies of the establishment. Like
and that's what kills me about these idiots trying to fight fascism and being woke. Oh, we're woke. But wait a minute, you're doing things that big tech and local governments and corporate media and corporate America wants you to do. How are you woke?
Well, there's a great meme of an NPC. That's the greatest thing ever, the NPC meme, and where he's like, yes, we won the election, we beat fascism in 2020. Now let's begin the forced lockdowns.
Begin the forced lockdown.
That's what I'm telling you. The eugenicists might be right. These people are fucking beyond saving, dude. They're fucking.
They really are. Dude, they are look at these kids, man. They are the victims of public education. They are the victims of poor diets. They're the victims of having their brains rotted by digital media. Look at them. They're losing.
Like we think about it. They're like, yes, we've defeated Trump. Now lock us back in our house.
Lock us down.
Like, what the fuck, dude? You can't make it up. You can't make up the stupidity and the insanity and the cowardice. You can't make it up.
Gus, did you see Vice? They ran a special of where they're interviewing Antifa. I fell off the chair laughing, Gus. The guy's like, yes, I'm Antifa. And they put the guy's name down. I'm like, this is clearly a dude, right? He's covering his face, and he goes, I'm anti-fascist, and then he put his name. His name is Violet or Lavender. He's a dude, but he goes by the name of Lavender.
The preferred pronouns is the best, dude. There's nothing makes me laugh more than preferred pronoun. When I see a profile of someone or an interview like that, and they introduce themselves, and they're like, my preferred pronoun is they, it, to, like, it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I don't know how the kids growing up now could view that as being cool. Like, if you're a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 18-year-old, and I'm not talking about the millennials or the revolutionaries. I'm talking about like the again, if you're a kid and your instinct is to be rebellious, the rebellion, again, the establishment is the commies. That is the establishment. Yep. So I don't. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. The only I never tell people what to do. I don't tell people what I'm doing. Again, get as many people in jurisdictions on your side. I'm going to migrate out of here. Again, I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, "You're leaving." He goes, "You're leaving Nevada." I'm like, "Dude, I'm in a state that's gun friendly, without a state income tax, and I still think it's unacceptable. Like, I want abundance of freedom, like abundance of. I need to know my people are on my side, my city, my county, my state. If I got to worry, about the feds." Fucking outlawing magazines, mask mandate. If I got to worry about the feds, I need to make sure every other layer I have locked down is tight. So that's I'm going straight balkanization, and I am not complying with any of it. So it doesn't matter if it's vaccines, masks. Gus is not playing. So if that means I can't fly anymore, I guess I'll sneak across the border and all my flights will be out of Tijuana. I don't know what to tell you. Like I love traveling, but they're not sticking needles in me to do it. It's not fucking happening. So I will not comply. And if I'm in a jurisdiction, again, I want to get as many friendly jurisdictions as possible, and that way I only have to worry about federal edicts, not local edicts. And that's where my head is at. Others will comply. It doesn't matter if it's a vaccine, a mask mandate. Like, again, everyone has a line in the sand. My lines have already been crossed. I've told people, they stole a year of my life. They will not steal a second. I'm done. Like, I'm done. Stick it up your ass. And if you want to mandate a vaccine, let me give you some advice. Send a fucking SWAT team, not a couple feminists. You're not sticking a needle in me. And don't send a couple dykes with FBI uniforms to do it.
But what about Klaus Schwab? Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum. He says that we all need to be vaccinated, Gus.
Send a fucking SWAT team. Do not send fucking social justice warriors if you're gonna start doing that shit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not your slave, and I never will be. There's a Voltaire quote. I have it on a fucking portrait in the backdrop of my house. It's man is free at the moment he wishes it. They can't force you to be a slave. They could make whatever rule they want up. They can't force you to do it. I'm not your fucking slave. So if Biden and Harris and Pelosi and Gavin, they could say whatever the fuck my line's already been crossed. I don't work for you. You work for me. Fuck off. Yeah. And don't send SJWs to my house. I'm telling you right now. Do not send SJWs. Bring a fucking team with body armor. You're not forcing me to do anything.
Well, I've seen your training pictures when you're out in Arizona. You're not playing around. You are full on John Wick mode for sure.
Well, dude, I'm not their slave. It's just that simple. Every man dies. Not every man dies whining. Like every
man dies, Gus, but not every man really lives.
Not every man dies whining. I will not be taking a vaccine. I won't. They've crossed, like I said, they've crossed the realm of tyranny a long time ago. The only thing they control now is the label. A year ago, I was a patriot. In 2021, they might label me an outlaw. So be it. I'm okay being an outlaw. Or let's say an anti-government extremist, a conspiracy theorist, an anti-vaxxer. You're not doing it, dude. Fuck you. I'm not playing. Like, and think of you, and what I'm saying isn't even offensive. It's defensive. Like, you will not institute unconstitutional edict because of a fictional virus that's with a 99.99 mortality rate. Like, they're just not happening. So again, it's good and it's bad. I think that I can't tell people what to do. I'm just done playing. I'm not. These people aren't my overlords. They're not my king. I never signed up for this. So we'll see, man. I'll miss air travel if it comes to that, but I can't.
Yep.
I can't be their slave.
No, definitely not, man. Definitely not. And we're at the end of the show, folks. I want to thank all of you for listening in, and for all the new members. We picked up so many subscribers; it's ridiculous. So, I want to thank all you for subscribing. You are listening to Cuss with Gus. This is not safe for work. It's not for small children. So, Rogue is Rogue News, and we are raw. We are gritty. We are straightforward. Gus is a brilliant guy. You can check out his work over at perpetualassets.com, where him and his partner Will Lear, they specialize in transferring 401ks into self-directed IRA funds. So if you're terrified of your 401k turning into nothing, or you just decided to, hey, you know what, screw the markets, I'm just going to take life by the balls and be responsible for my own finances, then contact Gus Demas or Will Lear over at perpetualassets.com. And of course, I am the gorilla, and CJ is the producer extraordinaire. And with that being said, we're over and out. Take it away, CJ.